Good morning, everybody. 11 o'clock, March 2nd. Happy March, everyone. I remember doing an episode last year on St. Patrick's Day, and that was fun. It just dawned on me because we were both wearing, the guest was wearing green. Anyway, needless to say, welcome to Meet the Experts. I am your host, Jay Vicks, and if you're not sure what the heck you're doing here or what you're about to watch, Meet the Experts was just a way for us to help small business owners get the word out there about their business, create some video content. People always have a difficult time creating video content. It's like this mythical thing, right? And as a digital marketing agency, we want to be able to help business owners and show them just truly how easy it is to create some video content just in the form of an interview. And then we give that interview to the business owner and let them use it in their marketing or show them how to use it in their marketing. And so it's just a great way. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're an established business owner and you'd like to be a future guest on Meet the Experts, you can just hit us up after the show. I'll give you some extra instructions. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce today's guest, who is a good friend of mine. We've been working together. We've been colleagues and working together for, probably 2 years now. Wendy is a realtor she's in Alamance County. She does a lot in Guildford and Alamance County areas near Greensboro, Burlington. And we're in the same networking group together. And I think we had scheduled an episode a long time ago, and then life got in the way, and we just circled back around to it recently. So I can't wait to learn about what's going on in the real estate market and allow Wendy to introduce herself to you. So let's go ahead and get her up on screen. Hey, Wendy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Jay?
Awesome. It's so good to have you on here finally. I know we've talked about it for a long time, and I'm really, really grateful that we're able to come up with a good time to do this. So tell us just a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
I've been selling real estate now since 2015. Absolutely loving what I do. Love helping people. I work through Keller Williams, but it's a great business, and I just love helping people.
It totally shows. Knowing you, I will totally attest to your personality and your ethics and who you are as a person. You said something to me once, probably over a year ago, where you were like, I just love telling my clients, don't worry, I got you. Right. And like that resonated with me. We need real estate, I think, is really about relationships. So you don't really have products, you have services, but as a realtor, right? What are some ways, and how are some ways that you can help people, and what kind of people do you like to help?
Okay. I help buyers or sellers. If you're interested in selling your house, I can certainly help you list the house, and I can walk you all the way through it. I've done this more than once. Like I said, I've been doing it since 2015, so I know what I'm doing. And of course, I help buyers as well. And it's just kind of a crazy market out there right now, and you need somebody to lead you through, and you need somebody that's not brand new and knows what they're doing. And I feel like I'm that person. I can help whoever needs help.
I love that. So when you say it's a crazy market right now, can you elaborate a little bit? Like, what are you seeing right now that makes it a bit crazy?
Okay. Things are just kind of all over the place. As most people know, the feds raised the interest rates. So they were trying to slow down the market. They were trying to stop the houses from being sold just outrageously. And they have been outrageous. So now the market is shifting. We've been in a shift for a little bit. I still think it's a seller's market, but it really is very, very soon it'll be a balanced market. And what I mean by that is sellers were in the driver's seat. We could about throw any house on the market and get anything we wanted to for it. It just didn't matter because people would just buy it. But now with the interest rates a little higher and now people are a little more savvy, they're just not going for that. So if you're listing your house, you're not going to get as much as you would have got for it 6 months to a year ago. But you're still getting a fair price. But the thing I like about the balanced market is it makes it fair. It's fair for sellers. It's fair for buyers. It's just not lopsided like it has been in the past. I mean, it's crazy what the sellers are getting on these houses, which is wonderful. I want to help my seller, but I also want it to be fair for the other person.
That makes a lot of sense. A couple of years ago, wife and I had a house down in the Wilmington area. And we had it. It was our first house when we got married, and we had hung on to it, and we were renting it out. And when the market started going crazy, I think I talked to you about it. I was like, I think I need to list this house, and we got we got a great offer on it. We had multiple offers on it, and I assume that now with the rates going up and everything else, maybe you're not getting that 5 or 10 offers anymore. Is that slowing down too?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. Now we're getting maybe 2 or 3. But the one thing people have to remember, and I think people don't understand, is it still is a seller's market, but it's rapidly becoming a buyer's market, or a balanced market rather.
Okay.
But the whole thing that's driving this is supply and demand. I know back in high school, you probably heard about supply and demand. If there's a high demand, and there's a high demand of buyers wanting houses, there's low, we have hardly any houses on the market. So there's a low amount of houses there for those folks to choose. So you're going to pay a higher price. And that's exactly what's happening. And as agents, all of us are trying to get more houses on the market, because the more houses we can get on the market, that's going to correct that problem. But now the thing we're kind of seeing is, now that the interest rate has went up, sellers are saying, oh, if I have to buy a new house, then I have to pay 6 to 7% interest. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And I always tell them, I can keep you on a list. I can call you back. I can let you know once that rate drops, because from what I'm hearing from lenders, third and fourth quarter, it's probably going to drop. Now, don't think it's going back to 3% and 2%, because it's probably not. But we got spoiled. It's probably going down to 5%, which 5% still is really not a bad interest rate. It's really not.
I feel like when we originally bought our house, and even just over the years, I feel like that 5% has kind of always been kind of that sweet spot, right? Like sure, when it's 2 and 3%, that's awesome and insane, but that's not normal. Neither is 7, 8%, right? So I always feel like 5 is kind of that standard, or that spot where it kind of makes everything balanced out. So that's cool.
And the good thing about North Carolina is, Jay, we have a lot of industry here. We have a lot of new industry that's coming here to North Carolina and to our Triad little area. So there's people that's coming that needs houses. So I always tell those buyers, hey, if you need a house, you're moving to the area, you have to have a place to live. Let's find you a house that you like in the area you want, similar to what you're looking for at your price point. And then once the interest rates start dropping, I get on the phone and I start calling people, and I'm like, look, hey, it's time for you to refinance.
Right.
So at least, yes, they do get locked in at a higher interest rate, but you also got to look at what rentals are right now. Rentals are ridiculous. What you're having to pay for a rental in Alamance County or Guildford County, you could have a really nice house for that, even with that interest rate. So you got to kind of weigh your options. And I just try to give people all their options, and then give them the big picture of what's going on. And I always tell everybody, I'm your agent. I give you advice, but it's your decision to make whatever decision you feel is best for you and your family. And I'll help you any way I can.
I believe that 100% when I'm talking to you every time. You said something in there, and it's going to lead me right into my next question. You said something. You said when those interest rates drop, you're on the phone and you're calling people and you're doing them a service by saying, hey, it's time to refinance, get those lower rates. I bet just that personal touch, the fact that you're so invested in your clients, right? That has to have given you some good testimonials or wins, or some people have had. I know you have some reviews on Google and stuff. So is there a particular win or a testimonial or something nice that somebody has told you that maybe it just sticks with you and you were just so appreciative that you could share?
Yes, and I always ask my clients to give those reviews, because I know everybody reads them. I read them, and every time I get a review and read it, I almost cry, because it's so nice seeing what my clients really say about me. And that's the person I want to be, as well as it's out there for everyone else to see. Because I don't like to toot my own horn. So I always point my clients, or if you're looking at a house, go look at all my 5-star reviews. Once you read them, you'll understand. That's the way I work. And the other thing I always tell folks is, hey, me and my husband do this for a living. It's the way we pay our house payment. It's the way we put our daughter through college. I mean, this is just the way we do things. And either we treat people right or we can't pay our bills, and I like to eat and I like to have a house. I always tell folks, I'm going to treat you right. I'm going to go by the golden rule every single time. I'm going to do the right thing. So it's just really neat reading those reviews. I've actually got one review that I leave. It's on every email I send out, and it is a video review. And it's a client from California that moved here, and I sold her house in Mebane. Absolutely wonderful. They are so sweet, so nice. And she was just blown away because me and my husband both went and showed them 3 or 4 houses. They picked one, we made an offer, and boom, they got it. And I'm in great house. It was just awesome. Right price. And then, I stayed in touch with her. She's fantastic. And then all of a sudden she told me, she said, Wendy, I think we're moving back to California. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, we want you to sell our house. I'm like, great. I'd love to. Yeah. So I ended up selling that house. Her husband got his dream job that he had been waiting for. He was a chef and had a dream place, a dream location, I guess, restaurant that he wanted to work at in California. And he finally got that opportunity. So it was just win-win, but just seeing her on that video and saying what she said, it was just amazing. The other thing that I've had people tell me that I've been shocked at is they're like, Wendy, you have the patience of Job. I'm like, really? Because, I'm not going to push you to buy a house. That's too big of a ticket item. We have to keep looking until we find a house that checks off almost all your boxes, almost everything you want. You never get every single thing you want. It's just not the perfect house out there like that. I've never found in all the years I've done this. But if we can check off most of the boxes, we're doing pretty good, So I just continue to ask for people, continue to send those reviews, continue to let me know. And if there's something you're not happy with, please let me know too, because we can always make changes and correct things.
So I think that I really do. I think that's truly amazing what you said. As a matter of fact, we're getting we got a comment talking about how awesome you are. And somebody we know, John Parisi, says great information. Thank you, Wendy. So he's watching live. Hey, John, thanks, man. So that's really awesome too. Love it when we get a live comment. If you're watching this, go ahead, throw us a comment. If you got a question for Wendy, try not to make it a super hard question. I don't like throwing people on the spot, but if you got a good question or good feedback, go ahead and share that in the comments. I love it. It's awesome when we have interaction on these shows. So cool. No, I think you talked a lot about the importance and the power of online reviews. I've been preaching it for years. We've built an entire software product that helps people collect reviews and distribute them on Google. We're I can't tell you the last time I went to a new city or a town and didn't look at reviews when it came to looking for something to eat or something to do. Right? It's just it's that important. Cool. So I call this one the earned it, learned it, improved your authority. You know what? It's funny when I meet professionals, I meet people that do different things, own different businesses, belong to different associations. Realtors are kind of in a class by itself because you have associations and certifications and all this. But any certifications, titles, or even awards that you might have won that you want to talk about?
Sure, absolutely. I'm definitely a realtor. Not every person that sells real estate has the realtor tag. There are certain things you have to do that. And it's part of that is ethics. I'm held to a higher accountability because I truly am a realtor. My job is doing what's best for that client every single time. Doesn't matter if I lose money or not. My job is taking care of that client. So that's kind of interesting because most people don't realize that everybody doesn't have that title. I'm also a broker in charge. We have Loftis Home Team LLC, and you have to have a broker in charge when you have that. So I do have that credibility. So technically we could go open our own firm if we wanted to, and I would be the broker in charge. And I could hire people and, just run it just like any other firm you see out there. And you have to have so many hours and stuff in for that and certain training that I've obviously received for that. The latest thing that I've title that I have is I'm the regional director for 72 Sold. And I'm extremely excited about that. It is a way to list your house and get you a lot more money. I do a lot more work. But if I can get it sold quickly and get you more money, then it's win-win for both of us every
Sure.
time. So I'm really excited about that. And that's just coming into our area. So you're going to be seeing some commercials and some advertising on that. So I think you'll be really excited once you start seeing all that.
Fascinating. Like, so you said something or during that I wanted to come back to. Now, I at one time I had my real estate license when I was living in New Jersey before I ever moved to North Carolina. I had gotten my real estate license, and you said something that I had completely forgotten about, and I think most people don't know. So you can be a real estate agent, but not be a realtor.
Yes.
So, and you said the biggest difference is ethics, or is there a special certification or special training to go through?
There is some training, and then there's the ethics. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
just what I always have been told in the classes, I'm held accountable at a higher level.
Okay.
So, like I said, my golden rule, that's my higher level. You got to do what's right and help people and do the right thing. But the other thing I was going to tell you is I have been presented the last couple of years with plaques from Keller Williams, and I am in the double gold production. I'm going to try to, can you see that?
Ooh, yeah, we can. Double gold production, KW Central presented to Wendy, Loftis 2021. That is awesome.
2021. And of course, I did it in 2020.
Look at you.
Yeah, so back to back. And we haven't had our award celebration yet. Usually we have it in March. So I expect to get one just like that again because I know I've done that, if not higher. So I'm like, woohoo!
Oh, that's awesome. I was just going to ask if you were going to three-peat. That's great. Yeah, I hope you do. Good luck. Absolutely.
I'll post it on social media when I do it too.
Definitely, you should. Absolutely. It's funny. We talk to business owners all the time, and they're like, I don't really know what to put on social media. I run out of content. I run out of things. And I say, well, the important thing is you don't always need to be talking about yourself and what you do, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, right? Like you should still, if you win an award, especially in a business where you're even though you're representing an agency and you're part of an agency, you're still working for yourself, right? And I think you should let people know why they should go with you or why they should trust you, and you do a really good job of that. So that's awesome.
And the other cool thing with that too, Jay, is I stay in touch with my clients.
Yeah.
I am very personable. I stay in touch with you. I may email you. I may text you. I may call you once a quarter, sometimes more. I mean, I just had something pop up on a Facebook memory today for a house that I had sold, and it's been a year. So, of course, I screenshotted that, sent it to my client, which happens to be my dentist, sent it to him and his wife, and I said, great memories. Congratulations. It's been a year. Happy 1-year home anniversary.
That's awesome.
And I've sent them a card as well for that. So I have a lot of different special touches. I'm not a transactional seller, meaning I go from sale to sale to sale, and then you never hear from me again. And I always tell people, I hope you like me, I like you, because we're staying in touch. I'm staying in touch. And people love it because I'm on Facebook and I make sure I'm, connected with them, and Instagram. So that way, if I see them, their son's having a birthday or whatever, I can say happy birthday. And the other thing, my clients love it when they see the houses that I post. I'm like, because I just posted one this morning. I just put one on the market in Alamance County in Burlington. So my clients love it when they see that. And then when I call them, they're like, gosh, Wendy, you are killing it. I'm like, yeah, I know. You're sale that I can help. So it's just a neat thing to show, that you're doing well, but you're not bragging. And people are so happy to see it.
People do, there's always going to be the small minority that get jealous of somebody else's success. But for the most part, I find that posting an accomplishment or an award or some success in your business always gets a lot more positive reactions than a negative. And you know what? If somebody doesn't like your success, well, then they can just go stew on that and let it rent space in their head for as long as they want. It's none of my business. So,
right. And I also try to post those reviews because there's a lot of people I'm on Facebook with that I went to high school with and probably hadn't seen or talked to in 30 years just because you're not in high school anymore.
Right.
You didn't have any disagreement. You just you're not in the same groups, I guess, like we used to be. So, and that's kind of neat because I have had people, I've just had somebody, a friend of mine that I went all the way through high school with, reach out to me, and her boss is looking for a house, and she's in HR in a big company. So she said, Wendy, when I have people moving in this area, I will let you know. And I thought, fantastic. Because I
Yeah.
mean, we probably hadn't talked in 20 years, but if she hadn't have saw that on Facebook and saw the houses I was posting, the open houses I'm posting, the closed I've posted, as well as those reviews, she probably wouldn't even have reached out to me because I haven't talked to her in forever. So it's a great platform, as well as I get to keep up with my clients and they keep up with me and other people that I know.
I am so glad you said that. One of my best clients and one of my greatest, the ones that I really love, is a friend that I went to high school with. And I would post things on Facebook, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you did this." And then, this is 5 years ago, and now we've worked through several of his businesses together on different things with logos, websites. Now we're doing some Google ads and lead generation for him. But yeah, it was just posting on Facebook. Sometimes, people don't know what you do. You can't assume everybody knows what you do. So I think use social media to start a conversation. What a brilliant concept. It's called social media, right? So let's be social, right?
Right.
Awesome. All right. So we're starting to come to the end. We got a couple more questions for you. And I really like these because these will give you a chance to really bring out, answer some questions for people, but also kind of let people get to know you on a little deeper level. So the first one is just, Wendy, tell me something, one thing, two things, three things, whatever, either personally or professionally. What are some things you're thankful for?
Oh, wow. I could go on and on.
I bet.
Very thankful for my business, very thankful for my success and my family. I've met a lot of neat, cool people, and I love meeting new people. So I've just been very, very blessed, and I hope to be blessed moving forward for sure.
You will be. You will be. I always, every time I see you, and I know we see each other almost every week at our networking group. I've always thought, I'm like, your smile is infectious. It makes other people smile, and I know that you bring that same enthusiasm and smile to everybody you interact with, and that's really awesome. So, very good things to be thankful for. It's probably my favorite question that I ask all my guests because it's just so uplifting. All right. One more question. Don't rush through the answer. You probably get the same question or same two questions every day or every week, over and over and over. There's a reason people have frequently asked questions on their website. What are some questions that potential customers or clients ask, or maybe some objections that you have to overcome?
Probably the most popular I'm hearing, probably in the last couple of months, is I know one day I had a phone call from someone and they said, okay, I had another agent and they're not helping me as quickly as I would like. And I'm like, okay, fine. And then they said, well, how quick are you going to get back to me? And they said it just like that. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I have never even met you. This is just a phone conversation. And I said, well, I mean, typically in a couple hours. They're like, really? Because this agent wouldn't get back to me in at least 2 or 3 days. And then the house was gone. And I'm like, 2 or 3 days? Oh my gosh. If I don't get back to you in 30 minutes, I'm frustrated. But I could be in a meeting. I could be showing houses. Anything could be happening. So that's probably the biggest question. And that same day, I had 2 clients call me and say the exact same thing. But the other thing I'll tell you is both of those clients, now they are good friends. They have the houses they were looking for, and they are so happy, and they're sending me business.
I
So
love
I'm
it.
like, thank you so much. The other question, probably the biggest thing is, other 2 questions is, how do you buy a house and how do I get pre-approved? Because typically what people do when they want to buy a house is they start looking on realtor.com and Zillow, and then they send a message saying, I'm interested in this house. Well, you really have to go to the bank to see how much they're going to loan you, unless you have cash. If you do, that's fine. That's wonderful. But most people do not, to pay to pay all of the actual for the house.
Sure.
So that's really the biggest question. How much money do I need? How do I get started? And I always tell people, hey, I've done this for a while. I've got folders that when I meet you for the very first time, that I will go over exactly how you buy a house, exactly how you list a house, what we offer for you, what you need to do. And honestly, it makes it easy peasy. It really does. People are so thankful. And the other thing I found out is other agents don't do that. I've had numerous clients say, Wendy, I've been working with several different agents. No one has ever went through the information you went through with me today. And I know I was just like shocked because I'm like, why in the world not? If you're a first time home buyer, you need to know all this stuff because my job as an agent is to help you and to teach you. And so you understand. Because if I can help you understand, I can help you find a house or I can
Right.
sell your house. But if you don't understand and I haven't given you the information, and I always tell people, I go over this whether you've bought one house with me or sold three houses with me. It doesn't matter because I don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know and what questions you should ask me.
Sure.
But once I start going through this information, then the questions start arising and then everything starts kind of falling into place.
One of the things that you were talking about there is like that whole pre-approval process. So, also time is money, right? So if somebody calls you and they want to go look at 5 houses, right? They might all be out of their price range. They might have like caviar dreams on a tuna fish budget, right? So
Right.
so if you don't know what they can qualify for, then everybody's wasting their time. So I do think that getting that pre-approval, finding out that number, you don't have to spend it. Just know that the bank is going to give you that. Helps the realtor, helps you, the buyer, and everything, right? I mean, that's critical, I think, right?
Yes. And a couple of things that's changed with COVID that's very interesting, I think. And I always tell my clients this, and some believe me and some don't, but it's the truth. Most sellers do not want you walking through their house to look at their house unless you are pre approved.
Okay.
And it really made more sense when we was going through COVID, because just with everything and all the craziness and madness, and you're not knowing how it spreads, and is it from touching things, all that kind of stuff. Because think about it, when you look at a house, you turn on lights, you open doors, you touch doorknobs. I mean, you're all in that house.
Right.
But I tell people that as well as you've got to have that pre-approval when you make an offer.
Mm.
And if I don't ask you to get that pre-approval first, I'm setting you up to fail and you're not going to buy a house because no one is going to accept your offer if you can't prove to that seller that you can buy that house.
Right.
And then usually when I break it down like that, people understand.
It's we're going to wrap up here, but you said something, and we do something very similar. Business owners sometimes wonder why I make them go through this boot camp, this strategy up front. Well, somebody would call me and say, can you build me a website? Can you run our ads? And I would say, yeah, we can do that because we have the know-how and knowledge to do that. But then what we saw, and this lasted for the first 5 or 6 years of my business, we would only have successes 1 out of 5 times, right? We would fail a lot. We made so many mistakes. And what we learned is if I don't know who that business's target audience is, who their ideal dream customer is, who their best customer is, and if I don't know where the pathway from stranger to raving fan, if I don't really understand that, then I can't do a good job. So it's really, you have to understand your customers, and I have to understand my customers. And I think that's probably overlooked in a lot of different industries, right? Where I think it's really important if you're going to work with someone and help them do something, right? Insert whatever there. I think it's really beneficial to understand them, understand their business, understand what they're really looking for. And you summed it up a lot better than I probably did there. But yeah, we started just saying we have to do this entire strategy before we work with you. Otherwise, we are going to fail. We're setting you up for failure, I think is exactly how you put it. And I really do appreciate that you said that. So it's amazing how similar different businesses truly could be but really, I think it just comes down to human relationships, right? It's just, how do you have a successful relationship in whatever capacity that is? Awesome. Any last words, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I always tell my clients, please leave me a 5-star review if you're happy. And the best compliment you can give me is to send me business. Because I have people all the time saying, Wendy, we want to get you something. I'm like, no, don't do that. Please do not waste your money. Just let me know who you know looking to buy or sell that I can help. Send me their name and numbers and I will call them and I will help them. And I always tell them, please tell these folks, I'm not going to badger them. I'm not going to, yes, I will call, and I will ask them, is it okay if I stay in touch if they're not ready right away? and that's fine, but let them know the experience you had. And I always point them to my reviews. And once they look at the reviews, they're just kind of blown away.
Love it. And none of it surprises me. And knowing you in the way that I do through our Monday group and through working together in some professional areas there, I see it all the time. So congratulations on your continued success, and I look forward to seeing you again. Well, I won't be there Monday, but I'll see you in a couple of weeks. And stick around backstage. I'm going to go ahead. But Wendy, thanks so much for being a guest on Meet the Experts.
Thanks, Jay.
All right. Wendy is just awesome. Love talking to Wendy. We talk all the time, and her business is great. If you're looking for a realtor in the Guildford, Alamance County area, please contact Wendy. And just a really, really great interview. And she's just so easy to talk to. So listen, if you would like to be a guest on Meet the Experts, I will tell you how right now. Head on over to www.meettheexpertspodcast.com, www.meettheexpertspodcast.com, and it's free. Sign up. We'll schedule a pre-interview where we'll just talk and make sure that the tech works, your camera works, your audio works. We'll learn a little bit about each other, and then we'll schedule your either recording or live interview. We are going to start doing some recorded ones very soon. We've been talking about it for a year and a half, and we've only done one or two, but we like that. So if you want to be a guest, please visit our new webpage experience there at meettheexpertspodcast.com. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day and a great weekend. Again, Jay Vix with JVI Mobile Marketing and Meet the Experts.